Sinclair Broadcast Group has announced that it will end its preemption of Jimmy Kimmel Live and restore the late-night show to its ABC affiliates beginning this evening. Sinclair is the largest group of ABC affiliates in the country, with nearly 40 ABC-affiliated stations in its portfolio, most of which it owns and operates. It was one of the two station groups that informed ABC it was dropping Kimmel last week, following comments from FCC Chair Brendan Carr leading ABC to pull the show nationwide. After ABC reinstated Kimmel earlier this week, Sinclair said it would continue to preempt the show. In a statement Friday afternoon, the company said its objective throughout this process has been to ensure that programming remains accurate and engaging for the widest possible audience. Sinclair emphasized its responsibility to both national network obligations and the communities it serves, noting that the decision came after hearing thoughtful feedback from viewers, advertisers, and community leaders representing a wide range of perspectives. The company also cited troubling acts of violence, including the despicable incident of a shooting at an ABC affiliate station in Sacramento, as part of the broader context for why responsible broadcasting matters and why respectful dialogue between differing voices remains so important. Sinclair revealed it had proposed to ABC a series of accountability measures, including the creation of a network-wide independent ombudsman to facilitate viewer feedback and community dialogue. Although ABC and Disney have not adopted those measures, Sinclair said it respected their decision while continuing to believe such steps could help strengthen trust and accountability. The broadcaster pushed back against speculation about political influence, stressing that its programming choices were independent of any government interaction or influence. Sinclair framed the move as part of a balance between free speech and editorial judgment, stating it is simply inconsistent to champion free speech while demanding that broadcasters air specific content. Looking ahead, the company pledged to continue working with ABC to deliver content that serves a broad spectrum of our communities. As we've reported, Kimmel's return Tuesday was greeted with record ratings despite not being carried in 23% of the country. Sinclair stations had been airing local news and other content in place of the show. At press time, Nexstar Media Group, the only major station group still preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live, continued with its blackout of the program. The company, which owns 28 ABC affiliates, has not yet announced any changes to its policy or indicated when the show might return to its stations. In a dramatic reversal that effectively ends the most significant organized challenge to his platform, the Sinclair Broadcast Group has announced it will cease its preemption of Jimmy Kimmel Live and restore the late-night show to its nearly 40 ABC-affiliated stations beginning this evening. The decision leaves Nexstar Media Group as the sole major holdout in a contentious standoff that has highlighted the fragile power dynamics between national networks and their local affiliates. The announcement, delivered in a lengthy and meticulously worded statement Friday afternoon, marks the collapse of a boycott that began just over a week ago. Sinclair, the largest owner of ABC affiliates in the country, was one of the two primary station groups that informed the network it was dropping Kimmel's show following public criticism from FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr. This move led ABC to preemptively pull the show from all affiliates to maintain continuity, a blackout that was lifted earlier this week when ABC reinstated the program, leaving the decision to air it in the hands of individual stations. Sinclair's statement framed its decision not as a defeat, but as a reasoned response to public sentiment. The company asserted that its objective throughout this process has been to ensure that programming remains accurate and engaging for the widest possible audience. It emphasized its dual responsibility to both its national network obligations and the local communities it serves, revealing that the choice to restore Kimmel came after hearing thoughtful feedback from viewers, advertisers, and community leaders representing a wide range of perspectives. In a striking and somber passage, the broadcaster invoked the broader climate of political violence, citing troubling acts of violence, including the despicable incident of a shooting at an ABC affiliate station in Sacramento as part of the context for why responsible broadcasting matters and why respectful dialogue between differing voices remains so important. This reference served to position its actions within a larger, more grave national conversation beyond a single late-night program. The statement also provided new insight into the behind-the-scenes negotiations, revealing that Sinclair had proposed a series of formal accountability measures to ABC and its parent company, Disney. These included the creation of a network-wide independent ombudsman to facilitate viewer feedback and community dialogue. While acknowledging that ABC and Disney have not adopted these measures, Sinclair expressed respect for their decision while maintaining that such steps could help strengthen trust and accountability across the media landscape. Crucially, Sinclair pushed back against the widespread perception that its initial decision was politically motivated, a narrative fueled by Carr's public denunciation of Kimmel. The company stressed that its programming choices were independent of any government interaction or influence and attempted to reframe the debate around editorial discretion, stating, "It is simply inconsistent to champion free speech while demanding that broadcasters air specific content, the realpolitik of ratings and revenue." While Sinclair's statement focused on principles and process, industry analysts point to a more pragmatic set of factors that likely forced its hand. The blackout proved to be a commercial miscalculation. Despite being absent from Sinclair's vast network of stations, which cover numerous major markets, Kimmel's return to the air on Tuesday was met with record-breaking ratings. This demonstrated that the controversy had, if anything, amplified audience interest and solidified his core viewership. Furthermore, the financial pressure from advertisers, who pay a premium for spots on a nationally consistent network schedule, would have been immense. Sinclair stations were airing local news and other substitute programming in Kimmel's coveted time slot, content that cannot command comparable advertising rates. The thoughtful feedback from advertisers mentioned in the statement is widely interpreted as a euphemism for serious commercial concerns. "The economics of this were always untenable for Sinclair," said Eleanor Rigby, a broadcast industry analyst. "You cannot, on one hand, claim to serve the widest possible audience while simultaneously blacking out one of the network's flagship shows that was just delivering record ratings." The affiliate model is built on a symbiotic relationship, and Sinclair was actively harming its own bottom line by severing that connection. The feedback from advertisers likely wasn't just thoughtful. It was probably a stark warning, a shifting balance of power. Sinclair's capitulation is a resounding victory for ABC and Disney, which stood firmly behind Kimmel without offering the content-related concessions or accountability measures Sinclair sought. It demonstrates that in an era of streaming and fragmented audiences, the network's programming, particularly its star-driven, topical content, remains the primary draw for local stations. The failed boycott also underscores the limited power of political pressure campaigns in the face of established contractual agreements and audience demand. Where other institutions have sometimes capitulated to such campaigns, Disney's refusal to bend, coupled with Kimmel's surging popularity, created a scenario where the station groups had far more to lose than the network.